Welcome, Seaweed Brain listeners. If you thought that our episode with Jonathan E. Steinberg, the co-creator and showrunner of Percy Jackson, was going to be our finale to our discussions about the TV show, you were dead wrong, because we have one last interview for you here before we switch to the Kane Chronicles, and that's with Azriel Dalman, who plays Baby Percy. That is the formal credited title, of course, on Percy Jackson and the Olympians, so stick around.
Hello.
Hi, Azzy. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. As she said, yep, I am Baby Percy. Not young Percy. That was a mistake. They changed it to Baby Percy.
Yeah, well, we really felt like, you know how when you're playing like Mario Kart or Super Smash Bros. And you choose like Baby Peach or Baby Toad, we felt that you were, Baby Percy in that sense.
I definitely agree. I think that they should add Baby Percy and Percy Jackson to Mario Kart. I agree.
Oh, yeah. I see the vision.
We could get that licensing agreement going. We are so excited to have you here because, like we said, you're a very experienced podcast guest. You've done a lot of these interviews already, which means I think that we can kind of just talk about whatever we want to talk about, you know, the hard-hitting stuff out of the way. We would just love to talk about like your relationship with the character of Percy. What do you like about him?
I like that he doesn't put up with the gods as much as other Half-Bloods do. I like that about him.
Yeah.
And he's pretty sassy and funny, and I don't know, I just like him. He got a heart of gold, as I think I've already said, and he does the right choice, even if he's partly doing it just to get his mom out of trouble. He still always goes.
And, you know, I think I may have heard that you're a fan of Nico as well.
He's just cool. He has really cool superpowers.
That's so true.
And, you know, Hades is great. I love Hades, so that's a good parent. And, okay, his backstory is so complicated and fun, and I love it.
Are you a fan of characters with really complex backstories?
Yeah. I think, okay, doesn't he have, he's cool ghost superpowers, and that's so, I would really like to have that.
Yeah. Nico has so many different powers. I feel like he is one of the more powerful demigods. Should we make a list? Like he can raise bone skeletons from under the ground, right? And he can use them to fight for him.
He basically has like an army.
Yeah.
Free army.
Teleportation.
Army.
Yeah.
Teleportation. That's a huge superpower.
Yeah. That already makes him so powerful. Oh, here's a funny story. You know Azriel, me?
Yeah.
So Azriel is the angel of death.
Yeah. Where's your mom? Monika, what was that about?
Well, it sounded cool, and I don't think they knew that
knew.
Oh, my dad knew? Okay.
What did Aias?
Oh, and my brother's name is Aias, mourner of the earth.
Whoa.
So that's a good one.
Metal.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's heavy metal. Is your brother older or younger?
Way older. He's 4 years older. I almost forgot that. That would have been bad if I forgot. He's turning 15 this year.
Nice. Yeah, that's so interesting. You have such a connection with Nico.
He comes in the third book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we didn't even ask you for a baseline. Like, how many of the books have you read? Like, did you read them when you first got cast?
Okay, so when I got the audition, I had already read, I think, just the first 5 books.
Mm-hmm.
And I read a lot of the first book. Too much. I've read it so many times.
Us too.
But, okay, do you know what's another fun book? I got this for my mom's birthday. And it's all of her, I don't know if it's all, but it's some of her songs. And it has a couple pages on what they're about. So we definitely read that on set a lot.
This, for our listeners, this is like coffee table Taylor Swift book. What would you say, 8 by 12 or something? It's very very wide, tall. What did you say is in it? We have photos, we have lyrics.
I can't believe I got it before the new album came out, though, which we've been just trying to listen to slowly, because when it came out, I had a really early call time the next day. It was 5 a.m.
Oh my.
I couldn't listen to it all at once. And it's been like that for the last couple of weeks.
Uh-huh.
So we've just slowly been going through.
deliberateness.
We heard prior to this recording that Azzy was a huge Taylor Swift fan, so we planted the seed of we should talk about what Taylor Swift songs make you think about what Percy Jackson characters or what moments in the Percy Jackson story. We've never done this specifically with Taylor Swift, but we have done this with Olivia Rodrigo in particular and other musicians that we love. So I think we should just do that. Like, first of all, what's your favorite album? Like, what's your era?
I like 1989 a lot because I think that one has like, what was it called? Is it Bad Blood?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bad Blood. That one, I had to listen to it in the car or else I would just cry. That's the only thing that would stop me from crying. Was Bad Blood.
Do you remember your early experiences with 1989? Because you, like, this album is probably like roughly the same age as you, right? Like, how did you discover it for the first time?
I think my mom had already been like a Taylor Swift fan. So like I was one and she listened to it. She was not one and she listened to it. I was one.
So he would only,
And also Shake It Off. Shake It Off is
when Blank Space played, it's the only thing that would make it
the only thing. Blank Space, not Bad Blood.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Oh, wow.
He
Blank
was,
Space.
he was definitely under a year. Right?
Yeah, under a
You're
year.
December 27, 2013. I don't know when the album came out, but
It was October 2014. So you're like really like Taylor, like from the crib, from Emergence, a Taylor Swift. Wow, that's great.
he would not stop until that
Yeah, it
song
was
came
like
on.
we would listen to it for like a year straight. Shake It Off. When we would be in the car, we wouldn't hear Shake It Off. We would just hear like the air.
I couldn't hear it anymore because it played so many times.
Yeah. It was just like Shake It Off always plays, and that's just fact.
That's so funny. Wow. I do think that album that is like your infancy, like falling asleep album, I think it does stick with you forever. Erica, do you know what yours was? Mine was Gets Jobim, the like Bossa Nova Standards album.
So, I think ours was the Lilo and Stitch soundtrack. My parents will often talk about how we took a family trip to Maui and we wore out our CD playing it in the rental car. And they were like, we couldn't listen to Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride any longer. But also all the Elvis songs and all the Elvis covers, those were part of my childhood soundtrack. Wait, so you said 1989.
1989. That one has Welcome to New York, right?
Yes.
That one I feel like would fit with Percy.
Yeah. I could see Battle of Manhattan slow motion fight sequence as Welcome to New York plays, and Percy's just swinging Riptide and like cutting some heads off of some monsters. I could see that.
I'm trying to think what like Annabeth and Grover. Maybe Fearless. No, not Fear. I don't know. Different album.
Should we assign an album to a character? I feel like that could also be kind of fun. Like which character is which era? I don't know if you saw Leah said that one of her Persibeth songs was Cardigan.
Is it? Wait, I'm checking to see if it's in here.
This is like the encyclopedia glossary reference book as he's flipping through.
Gotta see. Okay. No.
I feel like Percy is a solid 1989. Like
Yes,
that would be his album. Yeah. And maybe Annabeth could be more of a
folklore.
Yeah. That's kind of what my gut wants to say.
What about Grover?
That's hard because Grover, of course, should be the Forest album.
I feel like Annabeth could just as easily be like second or third album energy. I think there's like
like Fearless?
I could see Fearless. Definitely Fearless. Wait, that's not an album. What is that in?
Yeah. Fearless is one of her albums.
And a song.
Oh.
They do that sometimes.
I don't know why. I just thought it was a song.
It is.
I know. I thought it was only a song, though.
No.
Okay. I need to brush up on my Taylor Swift knowledge.
I think as far as like character aesthetics, Grover might be more of a folklore, but I feel like his character, like he would love Speak Now as an album. Early hits. he's singing Mine and Sparks Fly and Enchanted and all of that.
I could see Enchanted, definitely.
I honestly feel like maybe the musical language of that era, that was like among her most like sort of like bluegrassy, like there was like free picking and
they were doing acoustic guitar.
There was strumming. There was like more country style like vocal arrangements. The types of harmony she was doing were a little of the wilds in a way. I could see that, yeah.
And that makes me want to say that the Lover album is going to be Luke's album. Similarly, for the music, like the production style. Like, Carter, I think you're following me.
I understand the argument.
Yeah.
You don't think it's like Reputation?
Oh, that feels too obvious.
That's low-hanging fruit. Yeah, that's too easy.
Maybe
That's
Kronos. Maybe Kronos'
Kronos is
album is Reputation.
Maybe.
And keep you midnight.
Yeah, Midnights.
That has all the angry songs.
I could see either of them, to be fair.
Yeah.
Midnight is Luke for sure.
What is Midnights?
Oh.
You gotta keep track of the albums, Azzy.
Yeah, I don't know that. Oh, Anti-Hero definitely.
Karma's on there.
Oh, okay, then this is Luke.
That's what I mean.
Because I agree. When Luke has like the big speech at the end about like the gods, he does some good points. I mean, I could see they're not like the gods are not very respectful.
Yeah.
So I can see Luke's point.
Yeah, you know, I think your mom is right because Anti-Hero is on Midnights and
Karma.
Vigilante, SHIT, is on Midnights.
Yeah.
Mastermind is on Midnight.
I think Anti-Hero sold it for me. So Percy, 1989.
Yes.
Annabeth, I forgot what Annabeth was. Folklore.
Mhm.
Or did you say Fearless? Fearless.
Yeah, I think we said Grover, Fearless / Speak Now, early albums.
And then Kronos would be Reputation. Luke would be Midnights.
Yes.
I could see all of this.
And that leaves like what? Travis and Connor Stoll, Selena Beauregard. She's gonna be red for me. I think that Selena's gonna be red. It's giving, she was betrayed.
Does that one? What was that song? It was like December or something.
I feel like I've let you down, Azzy, by not letting you know which.
I don't know
albums.
the songs in the albums.
Once you're tall enough to sit in the front seat, you'll be able to.
Like seats right here, and my head is like right here.
Yes.
So
That's so real. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't see them.
Red is like All Too Well,
All too well.
Yeah.
All too well.
Look, okay, your fave.
We are never ever getting back together, isn't that?
It was.
I need to.
Trouble.
We were in middle school when that song came out, and like that was actually like a historic moment in our lives of being like, whoa, is she gonna do this? Is this where she's
Yes.
gonna go? And then she did.
You cannot imagine how old I am, Azzy, because when that album came out, I downloaded the music video from iTunes onto my iPod.
And she had to pay money to do that.
Yeah, I had to
Like
pay
for an individual
money.
song.
What is?
iTunes was like pre-Spotify when you had to pay money to listen to music.
Like each individually. Like you listen to like a 30-second preview and be like, oh, I like the song. I'm gonna pay like $1.29 for the privilege of being able to actually listen to it.
Well, you know what? It's worth it for Taylor Swift. I'm just saying, for Taylor Swift music, it would be like $100. I'm just saying. I would still.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would get it.
She can cross that $1.29 threshold. As she did for Erica.
Yes, she did. I watched the We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together music video every night before I fell asleep. And I was like, that is how you do a high ponytail.
You're like, hey, mom, can you sing me a lullaby? Like, she has the computer. She pulls it up. She just puts it like on the nightstand, and then she like walks out, and you just press play and listen to it on repeat. That's what I'm imagining for this.
We are in fact a little bit older than that. I hesitated based on that to reveal exactly how old we are, but
I was thinking. So in my mind, it was like 7 years old. I don't know.
We were fully like
Middle-
13, 14. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Carter. For the record, Carter is older than me. What year did Red come out?
Those are the albums. It says the date. Look.
Oh,
Literally, it came out in 2012. Were we not? We were in 8th grade.
I was 13. I was 13.
12.
That's tough.
okay. Wait, what are you guys' favorite albums?
For me, it's Red. I think Red is
Yeah, that makes sense.
insurmountable. Hit after hit.
Red in 1989. Those ones are my favorites, I think.
That was such a good run. I think like my individual favorite songs though are off of Folklore / Evermore. I think that was some of the greatest songwriting. And I would love to sonically go back to that. I really want to go back to a more acoustic Taylor album in the future. I hope we get more of that.
She's still working with Mr. Dresner. I'm sure the songs will still be there.
Carter, do you want to? What's your favorite era, huh, Carter?
Wow. I think it is. I think I have been outed publicly as somebody who is not the most active engager with Taylor Swift's material. Although I feel like I surprised myself today with the amount
As
of
he is shaking his head.
background I was able to bring to bear in this conversation.
SMH.
It would definitely be one of the early albums, but I like the distinctions between the first 3 albums are not very like crisp for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that You Belong With Me is like one of the like great pop songs ever written. So whatever album that's on is probably the one I would go with.
But which one is it? You Belong? Is that
Let me see here.
I want to say Fearless.
that one?
I know.
Is it Fearless?
Yes, it was Fearless.
Wow, I need to get better at my terminology.
But that's why you have the book. You just carry the book with you all the time, and then you don't have to memorize it. You can just flip to the right page in the book.
I'm just shocked at how many. You're all over the board of the songs you like best.
I want like
It's like you have no distinct era yet.
I want like a translator when someone says red and then it just shows you on the other side, like Google Translate.
The songs.
Yeah, and like the songs.
The drama, right?
I like Ready for It a lot, which is
That's
that's
right. Oh, this is like the Bible.
I'm all over the map.
You contain multitudes. You know, you have what it takes to reach across the eras.
Wasn't that the point of the Eras tour? Was that you shouldn't have to choose, and we should celebrate all the eras?
Yeah, I do like Reputation because doesn't it? It has like
Ready for It.
there's Ready for It. It has Look What You Made Me Do.
Oh, the Lover one too.
Oh, it has
Yeah,
Love.
it's impossible to choose.
They're all so good though. They're all so good.
Reputation is really good. Reputation also has like King of My Heart and Getaway Car. Delicate.
Getaway Car is really good, I have to say.
Delicate
Getaway
is
Car.
so good.
Oh wait, Lovers, Cruel Summer, and Miss. We're getting into Miss Americana and the
You
Heartbreak
can tell them why
Prince
it's fine. They can handle it.
because it's written after the elections, so it's kind of it's just funny. I don't know.
We create these
Now-
funny images when we sing it.
Now, like, I just imagine all of the songs being sung to Joe Biden. I don't.
There it is. It's out. It's out.
Wait, this is actually a great segue to ask you about working with Andrew, the acting coach, because he told us that he is big with images and also with music.
Oh yes. Once he printed out like a picture of like I think it was like a little boy and his like holding hands with his mom, and they're supposed to like represent Sally and Percy, and he was just like, "Here, keep it." I respect him a lot,
Yeah.
not just for that, but you know.
Are there any other like particular like images or songs or like conversations you had maybe that stood out to you as moments where you were like, oh, this really captures something about Percy that I'm gonna use?
I think we talked a lot about like abandonment with like
Mm.
Sally abandoning Percy into like the different schools.
Mm-hmm.
Talked a lot about that. You know, we just talked a lot about the relationship with Sally and Percy. We didn't talk as much about Taylor Swift as we do. But he was big on images. Like he would just like print out pictures and like stick them up on the wall and be like, remember this.
Were any of the images like really helpful?
I thought a lot about that holding hands one.
Yeah.
I think there's another one that I just remember it was supposed to capture that like abandonment. I forget what it was.
It's like an empty cave, like not cave, like a subway station or something.
Yeah, it was like an empty subway station with like, I don't know, like someone in it. Well, I guess it wouldn't be empty then. But it was just a lot of images like that were like really helpful.
Yeah. So you could conjure that feeling of being alone and what it was like for her to leave you at those schools and everything.
It was like a lot of rejection.
Yeah.
And like he talked about his own mom and stuff.
Yeah. Though, I mean, you really did some heavy lifting in your scenes. Like, I mean, I guess maybe that scene at the museum was the last like casual scene you got to do. The rest of them were really sad and very dramatic.
That's my jam, man.
Yeah.
That's why I do homework, so I can make all the old ladies cry.
That's us, You're talking about us. We're the old ladies who you're making cry.
Well, I've done my job.
You did. You really did.
Wow, that's a great answer.
And when you walk out of those scenes and you've been doing the drama and you've been, screaming and crying and locking yourself in the car, do you have like a cool down routine to return back to Azzy, to shake off the drama and to come back to real life?
Not really. I don't know if we started doing Sudoku then, but Sudoku's fun for that. Because it was chill. I can see this book being good for that.
Yes.
It's the Taylor Swift book.
The Taylor Swift
is back.
Yeah, so does that book come with you to set now on your new projects and everything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we had I think we had a couple days that were just like school. So this is a fun book to read on like school days, but also just like in between scenes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Lots of sitting and waiting around, right?
And sometimes kids don't like, mostly just boys. They don't like Taylor Swift, but like just because.
Yeah.
I absolutely know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice to weed out the toxic ones, Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. Because if you're carrying the book around, you can tell immediately who's in and who's out.
Yeah, wow. Wisdom.
That's great advice. I think I think maybe we have like a final question for you, which is sort of a question we've been asking for like years, which is personally, Azzy, would you, at the end of episode 8, would you go with Luke through that portal door and would you join him and side with him and board the Princess Andromeda? Or are you on team Percy?
Okay, as I said earlier, Luke makes some good points. I mean, but I would say that I would like fight on Percy's team. I would just be like in the middle. Like normally I would want to get in that drama, but
that drama seems like a lot of effort though.
Yeah. I mean, the fighting.
Yeah, violence. Yeah.
A lot of violence.
And we can do emotional violence, but we don't want to do physical violence.
No physical violence, just emotional.
Wow. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. And this has been great.
It was really fun. We got to talk a lot about Taylor Swift and assigning albums. So that was great. Thank you.
And one day you'll be able to sit in the front seat and memorize
I'll be able to see, like the song.
the song titles. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, Monika, what's your era? We didn't ask you.
I'm all over the place. We really like we've been listening to Long Live like all the time.
Oh yeah. We listen to Fearless the song a lot, right?
Yeah, and I basically cry whenever I hear Enchanted.
Yeah, me too.
Wow.
Yeah. But I mean, once we learned about all the political reasons, what album was that? Oh, let me check my reference guide.
It's
it would have been
Miss
Lover
Americana,
then, right?
I think it was Lover. Yeah.
Lover.
That album has because at first I was like,
it's really good songwriting.
When the kids were little, they would always watch that Yellow Submarine movie.
Oh yeah.
And you know how there's that little blue Jeremy guy in it? This might be way too old for you to know what this is, but there's a little blue guy. And every time she would talk about blue in her songs, I'd just imagine that little Jeremy guy.
Yeah,
so then I was like, I have to know. I have to know what she's talking about. And then when we found out it was about the election,
because she says the shape of your body is blue,
and we're like, why is she always saying that? What does that mean?
It's blue.
Cruel Summer is about Joe Biden.
It's about blue.
But then we said that we were imagining that she was like, oh my god, you might have to delete half of this, but I was thinking how Joe Biden was actually super hot when he was young.
He was. No, I believed you. My
you
brother
didn't believe
until I saw it.
So then we were like, I think it really broke me apart. We were saying how she was singing these songs to Joe Biden. So that's where we are, and it's really, really hard to unsee it. And then,
Cruel Summer is about Joe Biden.
I'm literally going to re-listen to this entire album today. You said that.
But then it's you've heard these songs a million times, but now that you have this new piece, you're like,
yeah.
Whoa, it's
reinterpretation.
Yeah,
guys,
we completely rewrite it in our heads. It's
make
wild.
Taylor Swift president.
Yeah, I think it's our only hope, man. Like,
I don't know if we're that far off from that, to be honest. Like, seems pretty possible.
It's gone off the rails.
Like, I think
we're
it
not
literally
talking
would
about
be
Percy
fine.
Jackson. We're talking about Taylor Swift
Like, she's
and Joe Biden. Okay, we need to wrap this up.
Yeah, sorry.
You guys gotta
you're
get
busy. You
going.
have things to get to. We'll...
Oh, thank you, Azzy. Do you want people to find you on the internet?
Sure. What is?
It's just your name.
Yeah, it's just my name on like Instagram.
All right. We will have that linked so everybody can find Azzy and Monika on Instagram. Thank you guys so much. We will talk to you soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, okay, bye. Have fun.
Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Bye, y'all.